Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. We are halfway through 2023, so I wanted to talk about all the romances that are coming out in the second half of the year. I'm gonna break all of these books down by month, so I'll add some chapters through this video. Of course, all of these release dates are subject to change. I'm gonna share a little blurb of each book, share my most anticipated read of each month. I have a lot of books to share, over 50 of them, so it's gonna be quite the long video. But before I get started, I do want to share the sponsor for today's video. I am so excited to be partnering up with Love Bonito for today's video. Love Bonito is a clothing brand that originated in Singapore, and they create clothes for the Singapore and Asian communities. I am thrilled to be partnering up with a company that creates clothes for someone like me in mind. And of course, I am very excited to share the clothes that I got from them. Love Bonito designs all their clothes to empower confidence through style. They're perfect for any occasion, whether you want to look good for a summer vacation, if you're going to a wedding, or if you need to dress for a work engagement. The amazing thing is that they listen to their community when they need problems to be solved, such as them including deeper functional pockets like the ones on these cute shorts and these cute jeans. The brand is a female-founded and female-led company, and I love how Asian representation matters to them. They choose specific colors for their clothes to match and flatter more golden and olive-based skin tones. Give your closet a summer refresh with Love Bonito. Get 15% off your next purchase of $100 or more at lovebonito.com and use promo code LBXLacey. So here's how I dressed up with my new clothes from Love Bonito. This first top is perfect for summer. It's a linen camisole in this gorgeous green color. I paired it with these straight leg gray jeans that are a little cropped, which I personally love because I can pair them with heels or shoes. And then I got this lovely little top that I was wearing. It's cropped with cute ruffles in the lower half and it's padded up top. I paired this one with these adorable pink shorts, and I'm obsessed with these big pockets. Clearly, I am very ready for the summer season with these outfits. A big thank you to Love Bonito for sponsoring today's video. Give your closet a summer refresh with Love Bonito. Get 15% off your next purchase of $100 or more at lovebonito.com and use promo code LBXLacey. And now back to the video. Okay, back to all the upcoming releases of the second half of 2023. Starting off with July, all the July releases. My most anticipated read of this month, of next month, is Resonance Surge by Nalini Singh. This is book 7 in the Side Changeling Trinity series, also book 22 in the whole Side Changeling world, which is crazy. And I am so freaking ready to be back with the bear changelings in this book. I love them in Silver Silence book 1. They were so entertaining, and we are getting another bear Sai pairing here. We're also getting an romance on the side, so this book is going to be a 2-for-1 romance. Another July release that I am so excited about is Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. Every time I read a Catherine Center book, it ends up on my favorites of the year list because I just love her stories and I love her writing. They're not super romance heavy, but this one sounds so interesting. The heroine gets face blindness after an accident, which does cause a little bit of trouble because she is a portrait artist. It also sounds like there might be a love triangle from the blurb here, except that, you know, the heroine can't remember the guys' faces. And then for all the Jennifer L. Armentrout girlies, we are getting a Soul of Ash and Blood this month. It's book 5 in the Blood and Ash series, which I am a little behind on. I still need to read book 4. But this 5th book is going to be in Cass's point of view. It's going to be a mix of past and present, including scenes from book 1. And then this next one, I had no idea it was even coming out until I did a little research, but we are getting The Dandelion Diary by Devney Perry. It's a novella in the Mason Jar series, which is my favorite series from Devney Perry. I don't know who these characters are though. I don't remember them, but I'm still hyped to read it because I love the series. It's a single dad romance, and his daughter wants him to end up with the heroine. We are also getting The Summer Girl by Elle Kennedy. It's a new adult summer romance set at this small beach town. It's book 3 in her Avalon Bay series. It's friends to lovers. The heroine returns to her hometown and wants a fling with the hero, but he rejects her and regrets it. And then this next one I am very intrigued by. It's The Anti-Hero by Sarah Cate. It's the start of a brand new series and it sounds amazing. The hero is the son of a preacher, but then he finds out that his father is actually part of this kink club, which sounds super awkward, but he does want to ruin his father's reputation now. He starts fake dating the club owner's daughter, making these filthy videos with her. It just sounds like a really interesting setup. This next one is Meet Your Match by Candy Steiner. This is the first book in her new hockey romance series. It's enemies to lovers with forced proximity. The heroine makes a deal where she's forced to be around this playboy hockey player 24/7 for a month. I had a lot of fun with Candy's football romances, so I'm excited that she's writing hockey now. And then we're getting A Game of Gods by Scarlett St. Clair. It's book 3 in the Hades saga series. It's actually going to be the final book, and apparently it's not going to be in just Hades's point of view like the rest of the series. We're getting a bunch of different point of views, and there's going to be a lot of things that are going to connect to the Hades and Persephone like original series. And then Role Playing by Kathy Yardley is also releasing, and this one has the cutest cover and the cutest blurb. It's about two middle-aged gamers who meet online, but she thinks he's a college student and he thinks that she is in her 80s. It's reverse Grumpy Sunshine and it just sounds so cute. Sanctuary with Kings by Catherine Moon is coming out this month, and I'm ready for another monster romance from her. This is book 3 in the Tempting Monster series. I loved book 1. Book 2 is okay, but I'm hoping this third one will blow me away again. If this one is anything like the rest of the series, it's going to be another monster reverse harem romance. Another monster romance that I am very hyped for this month is A Blue Ribbon Romance by Siemnas Costa. This is part of her Cambric Creek series, and it's actually a retelling of Morning Glory Milking Farm, which I loved. This is going to be a retelling from the hero's point of view. Rourke is the Minotaur hero, and I adored this monster so much, so I can't wait. And then this next romance is a debut, and I've heard such great things about it already. It is Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. This one is a second chance romance between a wedding planner and her grumpy florist ex. She broke up with him 2 years ago, but now they're forced to work together for a wedding. And then next in July is The Rebel King by Gina L. Maxwell. I could have sworn this book was supposed to release like earlier this year in the spring, but I guess the release date got pushed back. It's book 2 in the Deviant King series. It is the sequel to The Dark King, about the second Fae brother. I don't want to say too much about this one because the role that this second brother takes is a huge spoiler for the ending of The Dark King. But I'm excited about this one because the hero, he's like Fae royalty, and the heroine is lower caste. And then we have Not So Lucky by Trelina Pucci. This one is an accidentally getting married in Vegas romance, which I always love reading. I thought this was going to be a reverse harem romance, but apparently it's not. It's MF, but the heroine does have this orgy with the hero and his friends while in Vegas. He's this bad boy quarterback who's supposed to be cleaning up his act, but clearly not. It just sounds really fun. And then this last July release is The Midsummer Bride by Katie Wilde, although I will say I'm honestly not entirely sure this is going to come out in July because the release date for this one has been pushed quite a bit for a long time, but this is going to be the first full-length fantasy romance in the Deadlands series. The other books in the series were all novellas. This one is full-length, and it's a romance between a barbarian hero and a queen who offers him a marriage of convenience. Alright, moving on to August. My most anticipated read of August is The Good Girl by Nikki Sloane. I was so happy when I saw Nikki Sloane announcing that we were getting another book in the Nashville Neighborhood series because I love it. I was also very surprised to hear that the hero is going to be Preston from The Doctor. He is the son that the heroine did not choose because she chose his father. So we'll see if Nikki can redeem Preston's character. And then another August book that I am ready for is Pucking Wild by Emily Rath. I just finished up Pucking Around, which was so much fun, so I am ready for another book from her. Hopefully it's not going to be another 700 pages long, but even if it is, I'll still read it. This is going to be Tessa's book. She was the best friend from Pucking Around, and she gets an MF hockey romance, and it is with Ryan, the guy who was into her in book 1. It's going to be an age gap romance, older woman, a younger man. Soul of a Witch by Harley LaRue is finally releasing, and I cannot wait. This is the final book in the Souls trilogy, and I have been waiting for this couple for so long. It's Everly and Callum's book. They've shown up throughout the series and we've always been teased so hard about them. It's going to be another paranormal romance, this time between a witch and a demon who is also royalty. He's this powerful prince demon who is also totally gone for the heroine, and that is my catnip. And then this next one I literally just got in the mail and I screamed a little bit when I saw it. This is In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. Her next release after Fourth Wing is one of her contemporaries, which does mean that it's going to wreck whoever reads it because her contemporaries are super emotional. But this is a romance between seatmates on a plane that ends up crashing. This changes them forever. They go in and out of each other's lives for a long time before they finally reunite in Afghanistan. And then one of my favorite historical romance authors, Stacey Reed, is coming out with a new historical historical romance called An Earl to Remember. It's a historical romance inspired by the movie Overboard, which I have not watched, but I've heard about it, okay? The heroine works for this rich hero on a yacht, but she gets unfairly fired. So in revenge, when the hero gets amnesia from falling overboard, she pretends that she is his wife. We're getting another Sam Nescosto monster romance this year, also part of the Cambric Creek series. It's called Two for Tea, Welcome to Azathay. It's got a witch heroine and a non-binary shadow-like creature, which you can kind of see on the cover, so this should be interesting. Catherine Cowles has a romantic suspense coming out called Glimmers of You. It's book 3 in the Lost and Found series. It is brother's best friend, it's second chance romance, it's fake dating in a small town with some good romantic suspense. The hero returns to his hometown. He fake dates the heroine, who is his ex, when her ex won't leave her alone. And then Emily McIntyre is coming out with Crossed, which is book 5 in the Never After series. It's a dark romance retelling based off the Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's a taboo romance with a priest hero who becomes obsessed with the dancer heroine. This next one is from Elle Thorpe, who I love. She comes out with a Saint View trilogy every year, and this one is her newest one. It's Rebel Revenge, the first book in the Saint View Rebels trilogy, and it is Rebels series. She was introduced in Saint View Psychos, and she gets her own dark reverse harem romance with 3 guys. And then we're getting Taste Like Shakar by Nisha Sharma. This is a sequel to Dating Dr. Dill, which was great. I really like that book, so I'm excited for this one. This romance is based off of Much Ado About Nothing, and it's about the best friends from book 1. The couple from Dating Dr. Dill is about to get married, and their best friends are in charge of their wedding, but they don't get along. They do have to team up though when they find out that someone is trying to sabotage their best friend's wedding. And then Allie Carter is coming out with an adult spy romance. This is for all the Gallagher Girl series fans. It's called The Blonde Identity. The heroine gets amnesia only to wake up that people think that she is her spy twin sister who's gone rogue. So people are trying to kill her now, but the hero, who is this very grumpy spy, he steps in to help her. And then this last August release that I have is Right Guy, Wrong Word by Jewel E. Ann. I'm a big fan of Jewel E. Ann. She always writes the most unique and emotional romances, and this time this one sounds very bookish. The heroine is part of this book club, and she has this hot neighbor who also wants to join this book club. He's perfect until he apparently says a very wrong word. What that word is, I have no idea, but it is somewhat of a deal breaker for the heroine, so we'll see how this turns out. And then moving on to all the September romances. September is a great month. My #1 anticipated romance of September is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. Lucian and Sloane are almost here. The hype for them has been real. I am just dying for the romance. These two have a lot of history. We don't know exactly what it is, but they've known each other since they were younger, but now they hate each other. Lucian is the cold, dark businessman. Sloane is the librarian who loves to rile him up. I already know that I'm gonna love this book. Jennifer L. Armentrout is coming out with yet another fantasy romance, this time the start of a new series. This is Fall of Wrath and Ruin, book 1 in the Awakening series. It's got gods, a mind-reading heroine, and a prince hero. It'll definitely be interesting to get something new from JLA that's not Blood and Ash related, because she's been in that world for a long time now. One of my favorite reads of 2023 so far is Liars Like Us by JT Geisinger, and the sequel to that one is coming out in September. It's called Fall Into You. I am so ready for this one. It's book 2 in the Morally Grey series. It's about the second McCord brother. This is Cole's book. He popped in a little bit in Liars Like Us, so I'm curious about his character. And then we are getting a new Elena Armas book. This is called The Long Game. It's a soccer romance. The heroine works for a soccer team, and unfortunately she goes viral in a video where she fights the team mascot. She gets sent away to the middle of nowhere to help this struggling kids soccer team. The hero, who is that kid's team coach, he was a former soccer star, so it's gonna be a sports rom-com, kind of inspired by Ted Lasso, so I'm into it. And then as if two CMNS Costa monster romances weren't enough, we're getting a third one in September. It's called Hollow and it's coming out in time for the spooky season because it's got two stories in one, all about Sleepy Hollow. So the first one is Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. That one is MMM, and the other one is Katrina Tassel and the Headless Horseman. If you're a Sierra Simone fan like I am, she's coming out with a new series starting off with Salt Kiss. This is a spin-off of the new Camelot series. It's going to be another MMF romance series. We've got a rich owner of a DC club, his bodyguard, and the club owner's new bride. We're getting yet another Ted Lasso inspired romance. This is called Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner. It's a sapphic rivals to lovers sports romance. So it's got two rival soccer teammates who become friends with benefits, all while prepping for the World Cup. And then Angelina M. Lopez is coming out with Full Moon Over Freedom, book 2 in the Milagro Street series. It's a diverse small-town romance with a big Mexican-American family. The heroine returns home as a single mother and she gets a second chance with the guy who she lost her virginity to. And the hero here, from the blurb, he's giving off some It's Always Been You vibes. And then I just saw that we're getting a new Rachel Reed MM romance. I am so happy because I freaking love the Game Changer series. It's called Time to Shine. It is an MM hockey romance set in the holidays. It's got roommates to lovers, both the main characters are hockey teammates, and they end up sharing a house together. And then for all the fantasy romance fans, A Queen of Thieves and Chaos by K.A. Tucker is coming out this month. This is book 3 in the Fade and Flame series. I still haven't started it yet, but it is on my TBR. And then this last September release doesn't even have a title yet. It is Celeste and Zane's Romance by Catharina Maura. Since it's Catharina Maura, I'm going to read it, but I think this one is part of the whole Windsor family world, which I haven't started yet, but it is on my summer TBR. And then on to all the October romances. This first one, I actually have two that are neck and neck for my most anticipated October release, the ones that I am the most excited about. So the first one is The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. We are getting the off-campus second generation series, you guys. I thought this one was going to be a standalone, but then I saw there was a series title, so I am hyped. The heroine here is Garrett and Hannah's daughter. Garrett and Hannah were from The Deal. She is also a hockey player. She wants to go to the Olympics and she needs the hero's help to get there. Unfortunately, they are enemies. He is the new co-captain of Briar U. He wants to get this coaching spot with Garrett Graham. So even though they don't like each other, they help each other out. She'll get him that spot with her dad and he'll get her to the Olympics. And then the other book that I am crazy excited about in October is King of Greed by Anna Huang. We are finally getting Alessandra and Dominic's romance, their marriage in trouble romance. I'm expecting all the good grovel because I know how much Anna loves grovel. She loves it as much as I do. So Dominic is the embodiment of greed. He's gotten everything at the cost of his marriage and he wants his life back. And then my girl Tessa Bailey is coming out with a new holiday romance. This is called Wreck the Halls. Both the main characters are children of former rock stars who were in the same band. They met as teenagers, but now they reunite on this show to try to get their parents back together as a band. We're also getting book 2 in Candy Steiner's hockey romance series. It's called Watch Your Mouth. I have no idea who this is going to be about. I mean, book 1 hasn't even released yet, but hey, we're getting 2 hockey romances from Candy Steiner this year. And then Jennifer L. Armentrout is pumping out yet another book. A Fire in the Flesh is coming out in October. This is the 3rd and final book in the Flesh and Fire series. It's Sarah and Nick Toss's romance. I still don't even know how to say this guy's name. I'm also behind on this fantasy romance series. I've only read book 1, which was okay for me, but I will eventually get to catching up on this series. Shadows of You by Catherine Cowles is coming in October. This is book 4 in the Lost and Found series. I think this is Rowan's book, but I can't say exactly what this book is going to be about yet. And this next one I'm sure a lot of people are excited about. It is Caught Up by Liz Tomford. I finally read this author a couple weeks ago and she's coming out with this 3rd book in the Windy City series and I'm excited. I still need to read Ryan Shea's book, but this one is a single dad falling for the nanny romance. And then we're getting Too Far by Sylvia Day. This is book 2 in the Blacklist Duet series. I read So Close book 1 when it came out and It was interesting. I didn't love it, but I am definitely going to be reading Too Far just to find out what happens to Lily and Kane. So this duet is a domestic thriller. It's got a hint of romance, but it's definitely more on the thriller side. And then Hopeless by Elsie Silver is coming out this month. It's book 5 in the Chestnut Spring series. I've still only read the first 2 books, but this is Beau's book. It's Beau and Bailey. We've got a fake engagement, an age gap, so it should be fun. And then we have Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake. It's book 3 in the Bright Fall series, the third and last book in the series, about the third friend to get her romance. The heroine goes to Portland for a one-night stand, only to see that one-night stand when she signs up to try out for a play. There's fake dating here, they pretend to be girlfriends. The heroine is also a romance author, but I've enjoyed the series a lot, so I'm sure I'll like this one too. If you're a fan of the Salacious Players Club series, we are getting Madam by Sarah Kate in October. I know a lot of people love the series. I've still only read book 1 and she's already coming out with book 6. I literally don't even know who it's about, but clearly there's a heroine in charge here. And then this last October romance that I have is 10 Things That Never Happened by Alexis Hall. This one sounds hilarious because there's fake amnesia. I've definitely read Amnesia, but I've never read fake amnesia. It's set at the shop that one of the heroes owns. The other hero works there, but he knows that he's about to get fired. So when he hits his head, he pretends he has amnesia so he won't have to leave the shop. I mean, it also does sound kind of terrible, but I'm intrigued. And then moving on to towards the end of 2023 with all the November romances. I guess I can't not have Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros as my most anticipated November release, because I asked on my Instagram what your most anticipated romance in the second half of 2023 was, and the majority of people said Iron Flame. And I mean, yeah, I am dying for this book after that cliffhanger, that reveal, that twist at the end of Fourth Wing. So I really need to know what happens in book 2, and I'm really hoping that Iron Flame lives up to all the hype. Another book that I'm very excited about coming out in November is actually a YA. I don't read young adult anymore, but since it's Elle Hazelwood, it's going on my list. She's coming out with Check and Mate. It's her YA debut about rival chess players. In the game that they played, the heroine, who is a rookie, she completely obliterated the hero, who is the world champion. So now he wants another match with her. And then I'm also very much looking forward to Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. It's the start of a new series. It's a spin-off of the Dreamland Billionaire series. It's set at Lake Wisteria, which was where Final Offer was. So this one has childhood rivals to lovers and their families are frenemies. Do Your Worst by Rosie Danon is also coming out this month. I love The Roommate and I've been meaning to read her other book, but this new one also sounds great. It's an enemies with benefits romance. The heroine, she gets hired to break a curse at this Scottish castle, and the hero, who is an archaeologist, he wants to get her fired. And then Scarlett St. Clair is coming out with A Touch of Chaos, which is the 4th and final book in the Hades and Persephone series. I mean, I think it's gonna be the last book. It should be. It's been a while since the last time I read the series, so I'll probably need to do a refresher, but I'm still excited about this. And then for the last final few romances coming out at the end of the year, one that I'm excited about is Prom King by Penny Reed. Every holiday for the past 2 years, Penny Reed has released a holiday romance in the 3 King series, and Prom King is going to be the 3rd and final book about the 3rd friend. This is the last guy to get his romance, and there was a little tease of it in book 2. The main characters are something like step siblings, but I could be totally wrong, and that might not even be his actual heroine. But whatever it's about, I'm excited because I do really enjoy the series. And then we are getting the 5th and final book in the Plated Prisoner series. This is Gold by Raven Kennedy. I only read book 1 for my book club. I haven't read anything after that, but I know so many people do love this series, so the finale is coming out later this year. And then I am looking forward to Caught Stealing by C.E. Ritchie. I just read Iced Out, so I'm ready for more sports romances from this author. This is book 2 in the Leighton Yu series, and it is Holden's book. Holden was Oakley's roommate, and he was also on the football team, so we are getting a football romance here. And then if you love Helena Hunting, if you love the Pucked series, she's coming out with a Pucked novella in December. This is called Where It Begins, and it's about the parents of Violet from Pucked and Miller from Pucked Up. They are step siblings, so this is the story of their parents' romance. Among the Heather by Samantha young is coming out as well. It's a celebrity romance set in this small Scottish town. It's part of our Highland series, book 2. The hero is this disgraced actor. The heroine is the daughter of Hollywood royalty and they hate each other. And then the third and final book in the Deviant King series by Gina L. Maxwell is coming out this year. It's The Vicious King. It's about the third and final Fae brother. I'm excited. I really enjoyed book 1. Book 2 and 3 are both supposed to come out this year, and I just really love the whole old school P&R vibes this series gives. And then the final book on this giant list that I have is a historical romance. This is The Gentleman's Gambit by Evie Dunmore. It's been a long time since the last time I read an Evie Dunmore book, but I'm glad she's coming out with a new book this year. It's got forced proximity, with the hero being a new colleague at Oxford, which is where the heroine works. So those were a bunch of upcoming romances coming out in July through December. I did also want to mention a couple books that hopefully are coming out this year but just don't have any specific release dates, like Penelope Douglas. I'm pretty sure they're planning on releasing a book this year. I don't think it's gonna be Motel because they talked about having trouble writing that one, but it should be some sort of surprise standalone. I'm also really hoping that we get Red Fang Royal by Lola Rock. This is part of the Pack Darling world and it's Marisol's romance. I loved the Pack Darling duet, so I need this one. It's Omegaverse Reverse Harem. I don't know if it's gonna be a standalone or another duet like the previous 2 books, but I love this author, so I can't wait. The Consequence by Ashley J. That one was supposed to come out back in March, but had to get pushed back because the author was dealing with writer's block. It's a sequel to The Choice. It's Skylar and Memphis's duet, the last book in the duet. If you haven't read The Words, which this duet is a spin-off of, I highly recommend it. It's such an amazing rock star romance. I'm praying that H.G. Carlton will give us Sibby's romance this year. Sibby was a character from the Cat and Mouse duet, and she is supposed to get a reverse harem Why Choose romance. Tilly Cole is writing the next book in the Hades Hangman series. I love that series. It is definitely one of my favorite dark romance motorcycle club romance series, so that might be coming later this year. For Lisa Kleypas, I have no idea if she's coming out with anything this year, but I'm still holding out hope for her. And then Kresley Cole, I saw recently posted an announcement for an announcement. There's going to be 2 things for the Immortals After Dark series. One, I'm pretty sure is going to be the audiobook announcement for Shadow Seduction, and the other one I am hoping is going to be a new release that could be coming out this year, because last year she released Monroe. This year was the Arcana Chronicles, so who knows, maybe we'll be getting 2 Kresley Cole releases in 2023. Mariana Zapata hasn't released anything this year yet. When Gracie Met the Ground came out last September, so we do have some time for a new slow burn romance from her. But yeah, those were all the upcoming romances that I have my eyes on coming out later this year. If I missed any releases, please let me know. I'd also love to hear your most anticipated reads of the second half of 2023. As always, links to everything will be down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!